Hey everybody, and welcome back for part 3 of the Norton Critical Annotated Edition of the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Last time we left off after exploring around Skadanine a little bit, and well, there was some cool stuff. I didn't think that my commentary was necessarily top-notch, so I'm gonna try a little harder this time to keep a bit more of a running dialogue over the game, so as to actually maintain the purpose of this video series. So we just arrived in the city of Balmora, seat of House Lalu on Morrowind, looking for Caius Costades, who we've been told to report to for reasons unknown, other than that the Empire's orders directly from the Emperor himself say so. And when the Emperor says jump, I guess we say how high. But we have no idea where he is. So, the only thing we know is that we need to find the South Wall Corner Club. And might as well ask the guy who brought us here. Or, well, the Silk Strider. Caravaner. Council seat of House Lalu. Largest town in Vardenfell. Sitting aside the Alderun Vivek Road, important mercantile trade and travel center. High town, with the temple and manor houses, the shops, guild, and trade houses are north of the river. Labor town's modest corner clubs and homes are to the south of the river. So even modest towns like Balmora are clearly divided, both geographically and socially. Although this isn't exactly a modest town, as it were. But either way, there's a clear social geography to places in Morrowind. Both in terms of how people occupy space in relationship to each other and status, like high town versus low town. But also in terms of the geography of Morrowind itself, where we have Balmora as an important center of trade, but for good reason. It's located right in between the other two major population centers on Vardenfell. It's on a big river, the Odai. And it's the council seat of the most important mercantile house in Morrowind. To the coast near Hlaod. A specific place. It's a big town. Richer manners, better shops than the Morag Tong. Yeah, there's the Southwall Corner Club, Fort Moonmoth. Road south leads to Pelagiad, Skadanine, and Vivek. There's no trail to Hlaod. Oh my. The only route to the Ghost Gate is via Fioda Mamea. Ugh. What a mouthful. Alright, let's see what else he knows about places around here. East of the Odai River on the south end of Labor Street. Tell me about the Fighters Guild. It's on Trade Street. Adis Fire Eye is the steward. Oh no, we already heard about South Wall. Fort Moonmoth. So they basically point you to every single service provider in the nearest, like, God knows how many cells. In this region. More tradesmen than we can shake a stick at. Although I would say one of the problems with the game, as it were, is that even though they have this rich tapestry of tradesmen, you don't really need any of them. Especially since most of them sell very little and goods of questionable use to you. Even though the economic infrastructure isn't well developed, the actual in-game economy is kind of lacking, especially when, after a number of levels, you can just pick up Daedric equipment off any Dremora that will sell for more money than you could ever see from any merchant ever. Things kind of fall apart a little bit on that front. Altar to cure disease and poison. Guild guide and magical transport. Another transport method from one mage's guild to another. What do you know about a specific place? Oh, no, we already asked that. Someone in particular. None of the Hlalu counselors live in Balmora. Nuleno Devorin. Who am I missing? Oh, Mage's Guild. Inject a little bit of personality into what is essentially a long list. My trade. Well, we already know that. Any good rumors? Everyone knows the Balmora Magistrate's on the take. Thieves, thugs, and murderers are getting ridiculous sentences or paying a drake and walking free. But they'll never get Atreus. He's got fat cats and family back in the city to cover him. The Legion champion Larius Varro over at Moonmoth Legion Fort has sworn an oath to stop corruption, but I don't see what he can do. The easiest way to get started is to join a guild. It gets you out and around Vardenfell little at a time and gets you to know the country and people. So here we're being, once again, directed in like an impossibly complicated world towards like a means of understanding and interacting with it that helps parse it, break it down. It doesn't send you in over your head. The Fighters Guild and the Legion, anyway. The Mages Guild is another story. Some old chair polisher doesn't have a clue what he's sending you into. Doesn't much care. Ooh. Little secret. They say a vampire can hide amongst us. Nonsense. One look at the face and you know a vampire. You can't disguise that. You can wear a helmet. But here in Morrowind, we won't trust anyone who won't take off a helmet in public. In Morrowind, someone like that is looking to spend some time in a big, hot fire. Ooh. We already asked about that. Well, it looks like we've got directions to about plenty of places right now. And we also know where the old South Wall Corner Club is. Gee, where did he say it was? East of the Odai River on the south end of Labor Street. Well, that's really helpful. If I didn't already know where this is, I wouldn't have the slightest idea where Labor Street is. But at least he directs us east of the river. To the south end of something. It's so funny to be able to see the whole town. It's like I'm walking in a different world. Duragra Bowl's house? Well, that's not the South Wall Corner Club. Aha!
Don't stand about. Get moving.
This better be important.
Now, let's see if we can find the proprietor of this fine institution.
Why do you approach?
You there, in the exquisite shirt. Oh, citizens of the Empire, we've had peace and prosperity in Morrowind under the Empire for centuries. It's government by law, and the legions enforce the law. The Empire has free trade and free religion, so we're rich in pockets and spirit. Yes, there is corruption. Yes, there's crime and criminals. Yes, the rich get richer and the poor poorer. But overall, things are pretty good. South Wall. Yes, this is the South Wall. You know, that does make sense, because it is on the South Wall. Huh. Huh. The things you realize when you're playing carefully. Yep, that's the same advice. Yep, already heard that one. People don't realize how deeply Dark Elves resent the occupation. Occupation being capitalized. The real power behind the Hlalu Council, Orvus Dren and his Komonatong Syndicate, nurse those ancient resentments. They haven't a chance of challenging Imperial authority now, but if the stability of the Empire were threatened, for example, if the legions were recalled because of problems with the Septim succession, Dren and the Tong might move openly to drive the Imperials out of Morrowind. Huh. Who is this Orvus Dren fellow? The real power behind the Komonatong. Concerning this, I can only speak to a friend. Well, what if I butter him up a little bit? How about a few septims? That didn't help. And he still likes me even less than when we started. Well, will you at least tell me about Caius I'd be happy to tell my friends about Caius Cosades. Well, Jesus, I'll just have to go find a Dunmer then. Talk about Dr. Unhelpful.
Hurry this up, will you?
Come on, then. Say something or move on.
Nope, she's a Breton. Or a Nord.
Any time now.
Oh, he's the owner. Bacula Closius. Interesting that this institution is owned by an Imperial. Probably why they know. There we are. Old Caius rents a little bed and basket just up the hill on the north edge of town. Go out the front door, not the upper door to the terrace, then right up the stairs, then left at the top of the stairs and down to the end of the street. Geez, that's not confusing directions at all. Any rumors I haven't heard yet? Nope. Outlanders. House Lalu is imperial through and through, and you get a good mix of natives. And definitely not friendly out east with the Telvanni wizards. Shop the outfitters, then check out the guilds for work. If you want to be adopted by a great house, you'll need a patron, and that's easier when you've got a reputation. Huh. Go up the stairs, then the end of the street. Balmora, Caius Cosades' house. Well, what do you know? And there's the man himself in his half-naked glory.
Go ahead, stranger.
What a little mess of a place he's got here. And there's his moon sugar and his skooma pipe. With a little spoon right next to it. Plus empty bottles everywhere. More than one under the bed. Trap probes. Actually, they did a really good job. Like, looking more closely, like, putting the accoutrement of a junkie around this house. But even if you don't look closely around this place, one, it's obvious that it's tiny, that it's a mess, and that Caius Cosades is half-naked, which is probably the hardest part to miss. That's lock level 75 and trapped. Clearly that's where he keeps the important things. And he's got 5 moon
You've
sugar.
stolen for the last time!
No, I didn't mean it. But, retake!
What's this about?
Okay, round 2. I didn't even realize I was crouching. What? Yes, I'm Caius Cosades. But what do you mean you were told to report to Caius Cosades? What are you talking about? I'm just an old man with a skooma problem. So, you say your name is Veloth, and you've been told to report to me and deliver a package. Perhaps you'll let me look at it. Yes, very interesting. It says the Emperor wants me to make you a novice in the blades. That means you have to be following my orders. Are you ready to follow my orders? What happens if I say no? Fine. Then get out of here, and come back when you're ready.
Let's get this over with quickly.
Because until you have properly reported to me and meekly agreed to follow my orders, you won't be getting any orders from me. Is there any part of this you don't understand? We're the Emperor's eyes and ears in the provinces. You can use my bed if you need to rest, but leave my personal stuff alone unless I say otherwise. Don't forget to visit the Blades trainers. Blades agents offer training. Not free, of course, but cheap for a fellow agent. Oh hey, it's the scout that we talked to in Arel's trade house. Who already said she was a blade. So we're looking for Rithleen. 2 houses south. 2 houses south downstairs. Oh my god. To get to Hunter Ninetoes, leave my door facing south, go right down the steps, turn left, and head south looking for his door on your left. Yeah, I'm gonna need to look at those directions if I ever want to find him. In Caldera... Oh hey, you can tell me about the temple. It's the native religion. They worship the 3 god kings. Almalexius, Othasil, and Vivek, who are known together as the Tribunal. We usually call it the temple. They're narrow-minded and suspicious, but I find a lot to admire, particularly in their concern for the poor. They accept Outlanders as members, but few Outlanders join except for the services. Talk to Feldero Sadri in the Balmora Temple if you're thinking about joining. I think I am. Who did I ask about? Sorjavar Horsemouth. Lives in a guar herder's hut in the middle of nowhere west of Caldera. Oh my, I can't even give you directions to where this guy is. Here in Morrowind, the Thieves Guild is the newcomer. The established crime lords are called the Kimonoton. The Thieves Guild doesn't advertise, partly to avoid the law and partly to avoid the Kimonoton, who have sworn to destroy the upstart Thieves Guild. House Lalu is one of the 3 Loyal supporters of the Empire, open-minded in religious and cultural matters, and greedy and ambitious in the best imperial tradition. Sort of the capitalism of imperial enterprise, I think, is pretty interesting. Now, what were your orders? First thing, Pilgrim, you're new, and you look it. Here's 200 drakes. Go get yourself a decent weapon, or armor, or spell. And the second thing, you need a cover identity. You can always just wander around and ask for work, hunt monsters and sell their hides, collect ingredients for alchemists, prey on bandits and smugglers, search ruins for loot. All you need is better skills and conditioning and knowledge of Morrowind. And spend what you can on equipment and training. Then come back a little wet behind the ears, so I won't have to worry about you so when I send you on a mission. Alright, so this is pretty much the most dangerous command in the game. Go out and get yourself a little bit of experience, and I know from my own experience that many have gotten to it and essentially never came back, because it's really, really easy to fall off the wagon on the main quest, considering how much other stuff there is to do. Yeah, sure, tell me a little advice. The Council Club, also on the south side, is Komonatong territory. The local mob. They don't like outlanders, except under building foundations. Ooh. Let's go visit these temple fellows.
Outlander, I haven't much time. Speak, traveler.
You don't seem to know much except about Solstein. That's a little suspicious.
I'm waiting.
Aha! There we found it. The temple. Now, who here were we supposed to talk to? You know what? I have no idea, but there's probably only so many people here, so you just gotta ask around. There's some shrines. That's a little pricey at the moment. An apothecary and initiate of the temple. I sell potions and wounds. The Legion champion. He hasn't had much luck. Oh, this is the follow-up to last time's rumor. He'll never get anywhere working through the system. He's gonna have to someone who can get around the system, or through the system, like straight and hard through the system. What do you have to say about the Imperial cult? You just tell me where it is. What about the Kimono Tong? Concerning this,
Go ahead.
you may speak to a friend. I'm looking for who's in charge around here. Maybe it's you. Oh, latest rumors, eh? Well, I've heard that one. I've heard that one, too. What's your trade? I am a healer. Well, you don't really have anything interesting.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
Got some good books here. Including the 36 Sermons of Vivek, Sermon 14. Oh, I'd steal it, except I'm a little conspicuous. And Sermon 34. In fact, looking at book placement here, for example, we have lots of different religious texts, including many fundamental religious texts about the temple, like the Fellowship of the Temple and the Homilies of Blessed Alexia. The consolations of prayer, that would sort of help acclimate one to sort of what the temple is. Here we have some sort of religious painting. Nope, there's no one up here. This is just the dome. I think I'll come back here next episode and do some story time about fundamentals of Dunmer religion.
Speak, traveler.
Following up on the Pilgrim's... Not the Pilgrim's Progress, the Lives of Saints, which we read last time. No, I don't want to steal from...
Help!
No! Save often is critically important advice. Welcome, my child. Do you seek to join the temple? I do. Well, I should probably hear your doctrine first. Your fourfold duties are to faith, families, masters, and all that is good. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters in thought or deed, as we are all one body. Before I give you any other duties, you should prove your faith by making the pilgrimage of the 7 graces. Oh, this is going to be fun. Take this book, The Pilgrim's Path. It describes where the pilgrim sites are. After you've completed these pilgrimages, speak with me again. I should warn that while most of these are easy, the pilgrimages of Ghost Gate and the Ruddy Man are more difficult. You may wish to do those
I've heard a lot
last.
about you, Outlander. Go ahead.
Don't I get free blessings? Oh, I get cheap blessings. What does Vivek's mystery do for me? Fortify attribute, luck 10. Alright, I guess that means I have to read the Pilgrim's Path, not the Pilgrim's Progress. Visit each of the shrines of the 7 graces. To ease the pilgrim's task, the temple has made this list of shrines, along with directions and advice to pilgrims. The farmer could not harvest his muck without the guar. Homemade potions are not acceptable. In battle with Mehrunes and Dagon, Vivek gave his own silver longsword to the Daedra Lord rather than dishonor himself by fighting an unarmed foe. This is Vivek's heroism. His tender heart provides strength when his might fails. Oh god, this cave is so hard to find. But even the most timid pilgrim should be safe so long as he does not stray too far from the Ghost Gate and flees from any minions of Dagoth. Alright, so that leaves 7 very difficult sites to reach. And a very long quest till we can begin truly advancing in the temple, so that should keep our hands full for a while, at least on that front. But, I'm gonna try and do the pilgrimage sites in order. But before I set out on such a long quest, that will inevitably involve a lot of travel to most of the different places in Morrowind. I'd like to both explore a little bit around Balmora and join the Mages Guild here and see if they've got anything a little bit more local for me to do.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
Also, what is this place? I must fight purely in self-defense. If you're thinking of traveling up country near Shalegrad or out Molag way, or near inside the ghost fence, you need to know about Corpus. It's the disease that turns normal creatures into beasts. Turns men into twisted, mad lumps of flesh, superhumanly strong and full of hatred. You get Corpus from fighting with diseased creatures. It's hard to get Corpus, but harder to get rid of it. In fact, I hear there's no cure. And those House Veteran people, well, they're tough and sharp, but a bit tiresome in the duty and honor line. I am a noble of House Lalu, and have no business to discuss with you. House Veteran's in trouble. Lalu's got all the ebony trade. Telvanni are grabbing land right and left. I hear Bolvin Venom is sleeping with Vassala Lethri, and Garissa won't do anything about it. A Veteran and Vivek refused to show up for a duel the other day. Oh, heavens, what's the world come to?
What do you want?
Oh, more lovable rogues. Somebody said Lucius Larius Vero over at Fort Moonmoth is looking for you. Said he wanted to talk to you. Don't know what about. Heavens! Might pay him a little visit. Latest rumors. Been hearing voices at night. Do you? Oh, that's a little creepy.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
You rent beds. Clearly you're the proprietor of this upscale establishment. Nope, that's the same. Imperials worship powerful spirits, but are they the right spirits? They are powerful, but are they good? We used to worship the Daedra, but now we worship the true gods, the Tribunal, and the Daedra serve the true gods in fear and humility. Interesting point about religion there. As the imperial deities are usually considered to be the Daedra. Like the creative, or the creators of the world. Although that's a complicated story we might get into another time. Oh, geez. But The tribunal isn't, even though they're divine, isn't actually considered the wellspring of existence, which is kind of an interesting thing, because there's many conceptions of divine actually going around in this game. And what the Imperial cult thinks is divine is actually in some ways different from what the Temple thinks of as divine.
Too much trouble. Must be going now.
Alright, you have a very fancy robe. But who do I want to talk to? Yes, I do want to join the Mages Guild. What's the Mage's Oath? Speak with Ajira. She might have some small tasks
I've
for
heard a
you.
lot about you, Outlander. Go ahead.
Have you heard a lot about me? What's my reputation, anyway? 0.
Say your words.
That's not who I'm looking for.
Jeep has no words for you.
Before Hadira can be the journeyman in the Mages Guild, Hadira must study local mushrooms. Don't eat it. But make sure not eat it is. Make sure it is not Bungler's bane. Yes, Ajura Selmatse, Flynn, and Sujama can make you strong as a Kagoti and half as smart. Puts hair on your face. Well, if you're a Kaji, it puts hair on your face. Well, it's getting a little late over here, and my commentary quality is rapidly declining, so,
My patience is limited.
I think I'm gonna wrap it up for this episode. Next time, we'll tune in a little, or tune in again to find me desperately searching through the bitter coast to find the right kind of mushroom. So, over and out, as it were.